Good afternoon. This is Veterans Talk, and I'm in my war gear today, Tony. I came to war. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday afternoon. We missed last Saturday because of my medication issues and, going through what I'm going through, but it's nothing like what we are looking at in this country right now. For the first time in my whole life, I have decided that I wanted to just come out and campaign for an election. Just a campaign for an election, not for the person that's running, but for the democracy upon which this opportunity prevails for us. We are in a time right now in this country where we got openly one of the major parties, well, there ain't but two major parties in the country. One of the major parties have been taken over by an autocrat. If you ever got an opportunity to read Mein Kampf about Hitler, he took over Germany the same way by taking over it was the Communist Party at the time and flipped it to be a Nazi party. We are watching this play out in our eyes as veterans. And over the last 2 years, I know we've heard all this effort to broaden rights for veterans, to look out for veterans, because we talk about the plight of veterans every Saturday. That's all we talk about, is the plight of veterans in the USA, and the USA with the plight of veterans. We know that VA, the states, the county, and the city has enough vacant space right now with the water running and the lights on for nobody to be homeless in this city. Yet still, any given day in this country, there are over 250,000 veteran homeless. And the latest news is that the VA has put up another $100 million to address homelessness because it's expanding, Tony. Not growing up, all the money. VA this year budget ending $309 billion budget, but we still got homeless veterans. We still got veterans dying in the hospital with ants and bugs on them. I don't know what it's going to take for us as veterans to start standing up for the government that we serve for, and that we know can function for the betterment of all the people. We're the only country on the face of the earth that got a community of people from every nation on planet. And I believe this, Tony, that we are the great melting pot.
Yes.
I believe this. I think this is where God bringing his people, all his people together, so that we can learn to work together for a better world. What has happened over the last 50 years, we have seen business take over government. At one time, they had, business couldn't be too big in this country, right? They had laws of monopoly. You couldn't be too big, they'll make you break up. But in the 60s, the monopoly laws kind of dissipated. And what has happened? You've gotten billionaires, a handful of people with control of most of the resources in this country. Now, not only dictating the government, they have taken it over. Donald Trump, first president in my life that went to power with 6 billionaires in his cabinet, besides himself. And every one of these billionaires had relationship with Russia. And if we look at how these billionaires try to operate, they influence government. They tell government what to do rather than government telling them what to do now. There used to be a time that the government was there for the people, and it kept businesses small and in competition. That way, most of the things that we needed in our country was made in our country. Now, these billionaires are chasing the cheap labor, and they're going in countries where the labor is cheap because dictators run the countries. The autocrats run the country.
Yep.
They living high on the hog, and the rest of the people struggling from day to day. This is what they want in America, for the masses to struggle, and for the billionaires to go into space if they want to, waste the natural resources on things other than people. We got a problem in America, and it's because we having an infiltration of our governments by people that don't have any intention of operating the government for the betterment of all the people. So they do everything they can to keep us separated, so we won't come together and be a stop to it. Because if all of us came together today, if all the groups in America came together, all the working class people came together in America today and said, let's go on a 7-day fast. I ain't buying nothing, I ain't eating nothing, I don't want nothing you got. They would collapse.
Mm-hmm.
They would collapse. And if they could, they would bring out the U.S. military to make you go to work. They do it in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
People don't have a right to strike. They don't have a right to ask for higher wages because they have allowed their governments to become so autocratic. The billionaires are in charge of their government. They live good, the people live struggling every day. If that's what we want veterans in this country, well, don't worry about going to the poll in 2024. But if we want to take our country back so they can keep growing toward this more perfect union, we got to go to work. We got to hit the ground like veterans know how to do and get Democrats elected everywhere in the government. Not that I'm a Democrat. Let me straighten y'all up, because I think they're weak. I'm just going to tell you, but I'm at this point where I understand what Malcolm was saying. It's going to either be the bullet or the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't see us going back the way this crew want us to go back, even if they got control of the government. It's going to be blood in the streets of America. And the unfortunate part is they got the people so separated, so divided, it's going to be slaughter. Because NIA, funded by Russia, fund all of these elections. Mm-hmm. And they didn't got so bad. Putin then came on television campaigning for Donald Trump. What is this?
Yeah.
And we gonna act like that don't matter. It's just a matter of politics. It's more than a matter of politics. What we are facing is a complete takeover of our governments on every level. Tony, me and you, we got to. Yeah. Let me start right now and thank Marvin Arrington Jr. and Pitts and all of the county commissioners for setting up the Veteran Service Program.
Yes.
But after they got it set up, we saw how these autocrats operate. This program is set up in a beautiful way, and we just finished one of the programs. The first time in the history of Fulton County veterans got mental health care provided.
Yeah.
The first time. But what happened, what disturbed me, is that we didn't have representatives from all of the districts. Mm-hmm. All of the districts. Yeah. We had a handful that took over the Veteran Empowerment Program, and if you look at the minutes of the meetings, you'll see that they took over and they got it going in a way that ain't gonna make no difference to all the veterans that we're supposed to be representing. Yeah. Because all of the veterans in Fulton County didn't get notice, Tony, of this help that was available for them that's paid for by Fulton County. Mm-hmm.
Right.
We looking at autocrats all over this country trying to take over our governments. And the only way that we gonna stop them from doing it is with the vote right now. Right now with the vote. We got to make up our mind that from when 2024 rise up, when we wake up on January 1st, 2024, our New Year pledge, our New Year work, our New Year commitment, our determination is to make sure that every veteran in this country know what's going on. Every veteran. We got to have a conversation. We say we are veterans talking to veterans. Let's talk to veterans throughout this country, so they can be shaken out of this slumber that they're in and realize that everything we serve for is about to be taken away from us.
Yeah.
Everything. And the benefits that came with it. If you don't believe me, look at how Congress voted on the PAC Act. It was Democrats. Republicans was opposing it. Republicans want to cut VA benefits and Social Security. They already got it on their plan, their platform to do. Right now, rather than working to make sure that you got a new budget so the government won't shut down, they got a fake impeachment inquiry going on.
Yes.
Rather than working on the issues that we need to be working on with funding for Ukraine, well, we need to put a check in Israel, right? We need to support Israel. I'm not saying don't support the people of Israel.
Yeah.
But the people of Israel is suffering from the same thing that we are going to be suffering from if we don't wake up on January 1st, Tony, with a commitment to work for our democracy. We got to work for our democracy. And I'm going to say this. It's got to be the generation of the Vietnam era that's speaking out, because we know what happened during the Vietnam War that nobody talks about, nobody ever talked about. That they forced integration up on us when our families were still living in segregation to serve in the U.S. military. And in that service, we got to know each other. The young whites, the young Hispanics, the Native Americans, African Americans, Jewish Americans, everybody came up under military code of conduct, and they served. 58,000 of our peers died believing in this country, believing in this government, and we gonna walk away from it? I'd rather die in a firefight. I'd rather die in a firefight. I'd rather die on the battlefield than to see that happen without putting all of my efforts into combating it. We can't overlook what's happened, Tony, because we've been on this Fulton County Commission going on 3 years. We've been going to our third year.
Right.
And right now we have never had an in-person meeting where all of the commissioners was there and everybody heard from them.
Yep.
Well, some of them wasn't appointed because of Khadijah and Nalia. No. I'm just gonna call names. I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna preach. I'm gonna speak truth to power. So that this Margaret Taylor Greene crew came in, and rather than trying to make sure that we had full staff, and that we looked at the areas that we're supposed to be looking at as per the legislation, they fixed it where the only thing they was concerned about is the money. And who the money was gonna go to. And what we learned, that I ain't seen, well, only some money that I seen spent on veterans in Fulton County was with Frontline Community Services. I don't know what the rest of them folks did with their money, because they haven't allowed us to see, Tony. And we've been there.
Yeah.
Not just been there trying to get a voice. I dare anybody to look at the minutes to this Fulton County Commission. Look at the minutes.
Yeah.
Look at the reports. They had one election that didn't last 10 minutes because it was fixed before they got there, and they got a nothing coming up.
Yeah.
They got a nothing coming up. But the one thing about it, I've already put my objections in. I already put it in there for all of them to know. We don't need to be voting this year again, because we done had one bogus election this year.
Right.
We need to wait till after all these vendors been inquired and we look at what they did with the money.
Yeah.
Is it having an impact on Fulton County veterans the way it is intended to do? It was 3 categories that the legislation identified. We ain't sit down and talked about none of them. As a group.
As a group, yeah, collectively. Yeah.
And as people that's supposed to be advising Fulton County Board of Commission, what do we got to advise them on? Well, I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna advise them on wasting taxpayer dollars with the way this is being ran. You know, we got some of the commissioners that don't even want to be bothered no more. Teach don't want to be. She
Yeah.
you know, she
Yeah,
don't feel like she's having an impact
Yeah.
because she's not lit. They're not listening to her
Yeah.
and about her district. I don't believe we had one meeting that sit down and say, "Well, how you doing in your district, man? Is your district getting the word about this program? All the veterans in your area, do they know? Have we put any kind of concerted effort of alerting the veterans to the resources that's available to them?" No, I can't remember that.
Nope. You're right.
It's wartime, fellas. This has got to be a war for our votes right now. We got to go to every veteran in the country. Everyone. Now we know we had people in the military that didn't get it, just like any other part of society. But 80% did, Tony. I mean, some of us been flipped since we got out of the military because we just went home and when we hear all this garbage, we just silent. We don't say nothing about it. We don't check our families, our friends when they say stuff that we know ain't true. Everybody I met in Vietnam bled red.
Yes.
Everybody. I didn't meet nobody that had green blood, or white blood, or black blood, or Hispanic blood. I didn't meet nobody that didn't want the same thing I want. That's the better, a safe community for my family to grow in. And opportunities to enjoy the fruits of this great country equally. Since that happened, since the 60s, Tony,
Yeah.
what some people have seen is that we have took America in a direction. Now listen to this here. That every year when they graduate from college, right, they're creating 25 to 50 new millionaires in sports. Just sports.
Yeah.
That look like me and you.
Yeah.
Every year when a new song come out, they're creating 5 to 10 more millionaires. Equal opportunity. They're getting opportunity. Listen, I love Snoop Dogg, but he ain't, listen, Gladys ain't never made the kind of money that he made.
Right.
And I love Gladys more.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell y'all that. I mean, I like the rap generation because of their creativity and defiance too. They created in defiance. They made their own economy. Then nobody want to listen to their music. I still don't want to listen to it, but you know, they made it work in ways that how many billionaires we got in music industry?
Yeah.
Jay-Z, probably Snoop. He ain't telling everybody because he got with Martha Stewart, so you know he in there. You know he in there.
All right.
And hey, listen, but I'm an integrationist.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm an integrationist. I got white friends that I feel like closer than brothers. What has happened, we have allowed these handful of few billionaires to take control of the rest of us and play us like puppets so that we can't see that we're actually growing toward a more perfect union. But you can't have that more perfect union when you got lopsided economics, where you got people working 40 hours a week and they can't even do child care. They can't even do health insurance. You know, they can't, they're 40 hours a week. So, but I'm gonna tell you what, me and Dean and the rest of this old crew, we're gonna come up with an economic plan that's gonna empower our children to get their business money too.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I look at C.D. Moody and a couple of other folks, and I'd just be so proud of you. They took advantage of the equal opportunities, right?
Yes.
Like James Brown said, I don't need you to give me nothing. Open the door and I get it myself.
Mm-hmm.
See, we're going to have to start taking the attitude that this is our country. That's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they doing it, listen, they do projections. They do projections, right? They accuse you of doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
They say Biden gonna politicize the government, and that's what they're doing.
Exactly what they're doing. Yeah.
And we sit back and act like we don't know no better. We just quiet. We're bystanders. No, we're not bystanders. This is my God. I bled for this country.
Mm-hmm.
I almost lost my life for this country. I watched my homeboy die for this country. I'm not ready to just give it up to somebody because they don't want us to be what we are. The richest, most powerful nation on planet Earth. So we should be peacemakers. We're in that predicament to be peacemakers.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly support Israel. But you done got revenge. You done got them off there. Now go back to a conventional warfare where you ain't killing civilian children and women.
Right.
You ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to do all that. Now you can check up, put your troops out there, go get them clowns that you want to go get. Stop killing civilians like that. Stop just bombing it. You know, you ain't got to do all that. You done made your point. I understand that when somebody take somebody from you in that rage, you won't do that. But now it's time to realize that the people you killing had nothing to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
And don't start a fight you ain't gonna finish. Now they want to stop fighting and retrain because Putin want them to. Donald Trump want them to. What kind of action is that? That sounds like the Vietnam War, where we start a war, send our kids and waste all it, and then we stop because somebody got a different opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We got to recognize this. What we've been doing, Tony, for the last 2 years, the Sons of Atlanta Vietnam War Memorial, to bring sense to the community about the cost of war, you know, and the value of military service. Because, see, you look at what is going on in Israel, and you say, ooh-wee, I'm glad we got a military to protect our people. But we got a president running for candidate for president that's saying he want to have the power to put the military on the people.
Yeah.
We need to listen to what they're saying and believe them. Believe them. They are racist to the core. They don't want nobody of color calling shots over them.
Mm-hmm.
They want to demonize Biden's age, saying he's too old. Now, this is not just the Republicans, these are some Democrats. Because they don't want to see Pamela Harris in the presidency. Let's face the fact.
That's it.
They scared that he might die and Pamela Harris become president. No way. Donald Trump didn't even move in the White House until he had it painted. He wouldn't even move in there. Yeah, and in the White House, got to get it painted. Get it. Listen, we got to be true to our faith, true to our religion. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm calling out these so-called Christians, these evangelists. You're following an evil leader. The word tells me not to do that. You know he's evil. Y'all, matter of fact, got a golden image of him. Y'all made you a golden image of him. That show me what kind of faith you following. You're in a cult. You're not the Christian that I am.
Mm-hmm.
You're not believing in Jesus Christ. You're not believing in the Word of God. You're not following the same Bible that I'm following. Because let me say something else too, but Tony, before I get you to turn this over, man, because I'm mad today. I'm upset with what we. I'm upset with veterans because we just sitting back too easy, thinking that okay, well I'm just going along to get along. I ain't gonna make no noise because I'm a bigger problem than they want to deal with, and we are. If we can wake up veterans,
Yeah.
the power of veterans could save this nation. If we can wake them up, get everybody on the reality that we need to get the Republicans out of government. Those that are in government right now. Now, it's still some good Republicans.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, they just been cowered down to the point that nobody should be that afraid to serve. What do you think about it, Tony? If we'd have been that afraid to serve, the military wouldn't be what it is today.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got people that don't want to stand up against Donald Trump, against his base. His base is not for America. So why wouldn't you stand up against anything that's anti-America? Especially when it's a violent spirit with it. Because that intimidates most people. But what it does to us, it triggers us. It triggers a warlike stand. That's all it got for me. I want to go to war. I'm ready to fight. And that's not what we need.
No.
That's not what we need. And I keep praying for myself, right? I keep praying for myself. Lord, help me with that, because you know I'm not able to do it by myself. I can't do it by myself because what I'm saying over here, I want to fight. Because it's not right. We watched the VA. Tony, I'm going to say our chapter has did a marvelous job in 2023 with getting benefits from VA. With violence. We got some bad decisions back because they shortchanged us. You know, I mean, but we getting service connections. So they, you know, we know that they can't stop us if we can live long enough to fight them. The way they got it, they can just grind you down. They just keep taking you around in the process. Sewell died while his stuff was in the process. You know, and the bad part about it, Tony, he was going to win. He won his case after death.
Yeah.
But if it's not ruled on before you die, it's dead. If it's ruled on after you die, it becomes a part of your estate. See, we need folks that know how this system works, so we can be educated to this system, so we can protect our families. Our families. See, we knew we can't know when nobody gonna pass.
Exactly.
But so we can plan like this. Get your family involved with your stuff. Don't act like, well, I ain't gonna tell her. And you know, I had don't tell my old lady, don't do it. Why? We got to look at what is going on. These benefits was meant for us, our family, and our community. And if we stop being close-handed with them, we'll get more of them, and we will have better enjoyment for them. Right now, I'm still fighting for people in the Vietnam era to get benefits. We shouldn't be even in the claim process. Everybody in the Vietnam era should have been already service connected at the 100% level. But because of the racism, because of some of the people that we've been elected in the government, we're where we're at. But now we know that we got to put a focus on our vote. You know, Reverend Love used to do something that he would say, you say you got, if you don't know who your state representative is, you got to shoot yourself. You know, and we don't know who our state representatives are. We don't take time to know who these people are. But they have a major impact over our lives every day. They're county commissioners. We don't know who they are. We got a job on our hand, veterans.
Yes.
For 2024, we got to come out like we know what we're doing. And we do. We just got to get enough of us going with us to make an impact. Because if we did it right, we could save our democracies without firefight,
Right.
the vote, the power of the vote. This is the time for us to use it like we never used it before, because the people on the other side saying that you don't really need to vote. We got people that done put themselves in the position of God over us. Abortion. I'm against abortion myself. But I know this. God didn't fix me where I needed one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at it like this. An abortion is an incident between God and the woman and a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
God is able to judge that. We done got, we want the government to impose morality. And we look at this case in Texas, these folks are going beyond morality. They just outright cruel. They made this young lady leave the state of Texas to get an abortion where her life is in danger.
Mm-hmm.
They doing too much. As kids say, they doing too much, Tony. I'm gonna live. They doing too much.
You had a point to make today, and in no way was I going to interfere with you making your point. You know, I did not want to distract you, but one of the first things you said, that's a part of we the people.
We the people.
We the people have the power to fix anything that's going on with our federal government.
Mm-hmm. And state government. And county government.
In all levels of government, is really. Mm-hmm. And it's just by educating ourselves on who these people are, what they believe, and what they're trying to do. And luckily, because of the broadcast media in the country, we truly understand the attitudes of a major political party and the person that's leading that political party. There's no doubt. You know, it's one of those things where he says without any reservation what he plans to do about our Constitution. And that's one of the things that should perk everybody up. When somebody is saying they're going to do something about the governing system of the country.
The governing system. The whole system.
The whole system of this country.
God help us. Lord help us.
And he wants to do it for his personal benefit, not for we the people.
But
and
for him.
We the people will not benefit under his proposed plan.
Matter of fact, we would definitely suffer.
Yeah. And for some reason, he is unconcerned about that. And part of it is what you mentioned earlier that we experienced the last time he was in office. He put his cronies in powerful positions.
Everywhere. And the crew that they projecting that he will put in charge in the future is scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
You know, one of the things we've said from day one is find out who these people are.
Better.
Yes, they need to every. You know, it's one of those things where it's not just the other party. Every year, every person running for office or re-election should be vetted. You know, it's one of those things where you're a representative. Pull up. This is your record on how you voted. How not just how you voted, but whether you were even present.
Even present.
Because all of that information is available. And if you got somebody that's barely present when they're supposed to be meeting in congressional meetings or congressional hearings, whatever it is, and they're not there, how can they make informed decisions about the government and about the people? We, the people. It just boggles my mind, but we allow that to happen. You know, we sit back and not vet them. The information is there available for everybody on, I mean, everything they've done while they've been in office, yet we choose not to. And that's what I believe is really happening. We're choosing not to.
Well, Tony, you know, I'm gonna tell you what. When you get misinformation and no information, it's confusing. And you know, sometimes confusion will make you disconnect.
Yeah.
I don't want to be bothered with the confusion. And that's the issue of a lot of veterans just from dealing with the VA.
Yes, yeah. There you go. Yes.
And I say, man, why? I tell them all the time. I done got to this turn, but you know, I tell them, I said, now listen, if you ain't gonna fight, please don't get me started. Leave me alone.
Yeah,
Leave me alone, because if you ain't gonna fight,
Yeah.
you mess with the wrong one, brother. Cause I'm messed up. I got to, I got to fight these folks, cause I can't stand by and see them wronging us and not do anything.
Yeah.
Stand up and like I'm helpless. One of the things about this country, the government works when you work it. And if we got the people in there that ain't supposed to be in there, out of there, it would work even better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like these clowns now. They should be working on budget.
Yes.
But with the government facing a shutdown the first of the year. And you know what? They wanted to be shut down. They actually wanted to be shut down because Donald Trump said something, and I don't know whether we heard him. Who worked for the government? He said Democrats. Well, when you look close at the Democrats that are working for the government now, they look all like us.
Yeah.
You go in these government buildings, go in these government operations, they day-to-day work.
Yes.
Just like these two sisters that was bombarded with the BS here in Georgia at the poll. They at the poll, they just doing that work. They just going about making sure the votes are counted right. They doing what they need to do to make sure the system works. And then they got attacked viciously with lies and misinformation.
Yes.
And not only did a certain portion of the population believed it, they made these ladies' life a living hell.
Yeah. And
Dude,
the scary, the unfortunate part about this is they knew what they were doing.
They knew
what they were saying were lies. But they were following someone who got in position from telling lies. And so he told those lies. They took those lies and added to that. They put faces. They put "we the people" faces on those lies. And that's why those two poll workers,
poll workers.
you know, and look at the level where they are. Now, granted, their working level is paramount to the success of the government.
Absolutely.
But they were poll workers. They weren't making decisions. They weren't in a governing position. They were just guaranteed that our system worked.
They were working the system the way it's supposed to be worked.
Yeah.
And they were attacked.
Yes.
With lies and deception.
Yeah.
And the whole truth of the matter is that put a lot of people on alert for war.
Yes.
Because I don't know what these Trumpenites think. I guess they think that because they want to go back in the past, that's what they're going to have when they meet us. I'm not my granddad.
No.
I love my granddaddy now, don't get me wrong, but I got better access to weaponry. I know more about using weaponry, you know, and I can protect myself without a gun.
Exactly. Yes.
So it's going to be war on whatever level they bring it to me on, and you know what?
Yeah.
It's not going to be a drive-by. You know, it's going to be a firefight. And that's what they need to understand, because it's not necessary. It's not necessary. All they got to do is let the country go the way it's going. Multiracial nation with everybody having equal opportunity. We need to stop going overseas to try to get labor. Now, you know, labor for cheaper than we can get it in this country. That's what causing the problems in the other parts of the world, because these people are being exploited in ways that we have never had to suffer, except for black people. Now we was subject to what they are subject to in the world around us. When you go into these major countries like Russia and China, they got these people working from sun up to sundown and sweat places for less than $3 a day. Less than $3 a day. So these billionaires go out of country, get the stuff made, and bring it back and sell it to us. We should start buying it. But they done got us so hooked up on things, Tony, that we don't know how to start buying it. You know? What Dr. King taught us, we can't implement it because it's too many of us hooked on things. You know, one of the things Dr. King showed us, they don't want you on the bus, don't ride it. You just don't ride it.
When they tell you why they want you to sit on the bus,
don't ride it.
If I can't sit there, I'm not getting on it.
And what happened to the bus company? It couldn't stay in business because it lost us as riders.
We haven't learned from our history. We have an incredible history that is laid out in front of us how to accomplish things with our government. But unfortunately, we have chosen, and we've chosen, just not to follow those rules and those orders and those directives that worked in the past, and they'll work now. We just got to update it to the new automated system that we're living in.
And respect the fact that we are all due equal opportunities in this country. You know, stop trying to keep some people from you know, progressing, growing. See what done happened? It's not all the people, but they're using us. The millionaires are using us like puppets. Like you just think about this. The NRA created a gun hunger in this country by scaring white people. They scared them, but they needed to get buy all kind of arms. And then once they got them armed, they radicalized them. Stand your grounds. The nigga coming at you. You know, they coming to steal from you. You know, you can't. You know, I'm telling you, that mentality was so pervasive. Even the new exploiters in our neighborhoods come in that run the stores. You go in the store, they start treating you like you trying to steal something. You know, they treat our children like they're trying to steal something. That's why we got ideas that we're going to take our community back economically. Or where the people in our community that are doing business in our community are going to respect the people in our community. You know, I mean, we've been pushed into economic disparity so deep that we're killing each other every day. Worse than people in a war zone. Our community has become a war zone because we got automatic weapons in there in the hands of ignorance. Ignorance. And they think that that automatic weapon empower them. But as soon as they run out of ammunition, they got to throw it down and run. They need to start learning from which we come. We done accomplished too much in such a short time period to let anybody think about giving it away. Because if we accomplish this much with all the problems that we have, just think about what we're going to accomplish in the future with our determination to overcome these problems.
You know, it's a lot of times we, as of this generation, need to look back and see, like you just said, how much progress was made over that period of time. That 50 to 60 years that we were participating, contributing members of society. And look where we started and where we are now. It's mind-boggling. And so if we could take that kind of progress that we saw and encourage the generation that is today, and it would just blow our mind. We wouldn't understand it's one of those things like the cell phone. How did they? We were attached to our house and to a wall. Now we can go anywhere.
Anywhere. You know, and communication.
Yes.
And the communication we got, and good communication.
Yep.
Then social media has been used as a gossip column to us.
Yep.
When in other capacities, they use it to radicalize people against us.
Yeah.
And all we do is just make a mess of it. Just, we don't use it to do good communication or good information.
Yeah.
You know, we got people that are even at the VA level, man. People will tell you that you ain't got a right for this or got a right for that. When you go start reading the regulations, why do they tell me that? They programmed to tell you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They make you not pursue your benefits because if you don't get them, they waste them.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, what a lot of people don't know, I worked for the VA, and that being a supervisor, and I had a budget to operate my area, and at the end of the year, if you don't be to spend all the money that you got for your budget, you got to give it back. And nobody give the money back. Exactly. They just go into unnecessary spending.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying we're wasting money on things that are immoral. And we're not thinking about the things that are moral. We're not thinking about the least of these. You know, how you got people that are not, we got mental problems. And a lot of them are veterans that incurred these mental problems as a result of their service.
Exactly. Yes.
And rather than making people understand that, they want to make a mockery of it by putting out programs that they don't let nobody know about until the program is over. I hate the fact that I know people in my community that should have been in the program that we'll be finishing next week, Tony.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to do everything I can to try to get some repeat of that program and get it to the people.
Yeah. Because
it's needed in our community. We need some tools to work through these mental problems that we're having because that's leading to a lot of the crime.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that we're accepting in our community, if we came together as a community, we could solve the problems. But what we're expecting for the government to come in there and solve the problem. And when the government comes, they just come with money, and the people that got the money don't even live in the neighborhood where the money is being spent. So they don't care about the neighborhood.
Yeah.
We got to do some, we got to, if anything, we got to study some of our own prophets that done came through us. I live by Dr. Cobble. I live by Albert E. Love. Mm-hmm. The things that these two brothers taught me. I live by Jose. The things that I learned from Jose Williams. The things I live by Dr. King. The things I learned from Dr. King. I live by Malcolm X. The things I learned from Malcolm. I got to be able to apply those things in my life. If I apply them in my life and everybody else apply them in their life, we're going to have a peaceful community. We're going to have a prosperous community.
And that's a wonderful idea, is educating people.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we have members of the Republican Party that don't want us to learn that history. That is American history. It just happened to be black history, but it is American history.
Well, see, that's where they keep us separated, yes. Tony. So you're talking about the key to separation, and that's ignorance.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want you to learn about yourself and nobody else. Because the more you learn about people, the better you're able to get along with them. The better you're able to grow with them. We learned that in the military.
All of a sudden you understand, and they say the light comes on.
Yeah. And what we doing, I'm so proud of, and I want to thank you, Tony. Mm-hmm. I want to thank Dean. I want to thank Kenny.
Yeah.
I want to thank Tracy. And I want to thank Robert Dukes, and I want to thank Ali, and I want to thank Herman Anderson. Mm-hmm. I want to thank Joanne Adams and Michael Pollard, and I want to go. I'm talking about this little crew that we got.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing folks, man, because they have kept me motivated because they kept me learning.
Yeah,
they kept me busy learning. and pushing my skills to another level because of them and what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
They think that I'm helping them when they helping me.
Yeah.
You know?
We're all helping each other.
We're helping each other. You know, and the thing about it, the things I've learned about the VA and how to litigate in the VA, I want to be able to lead that as a part of my legacy because it has gotten a lot of people with benefits. It got a lot of benefits for folks. And I've come up with a way to simplify it, you know, online. You know, that's our claim clinic. So anybody that needing help, all they got to do is call me and we'll get a way to help you get to me online. We'll do it from your house and help you get your benefits. And, you know, as we move, as we grow at the Sons of Atlanta, and I want you to go to the website so you can know why we fight so hard.
Yeah.
Look at these young men from every race that was in existence in Fulton County during the Vietnam War. These young men, most of them didn't live to be 21, Tony.
Yeah.
They gave their life for what we got in America today. And I say this, in spite of what people say, ain't no better place in the world to live than America.
Exactly.
You know, with the opportunities we got, I mean, in my lifetime, Tony, I've seen major changes in my community and opportunities for my community. I've seen growth in my community like I never thought I would live to see. I've lived to see a black president.
Yes.
I've lived to know black congressmen and senators and stuff, man. I mean, that's in my lifetime.
Yes.
Listen, when I was born, they didn't have none of that.
Yeah. Exactly.
When I was born in segregation in 1947, there was not one black congressman.
Exactly.
Not one black senator. Definitely no black mayors, no state representatives, no congressmen. And I want to give that to our struggle, to our people working. And I want our young people to start looking at that and valuing it, Tony, because I don't think they value how far we've come.
Yes.
I don't think they value what great progress we've had and what kind of influence we've had on America. We need to continue using it.
You just hit the point. That's why they don't want us to study our history.
Yeah.
Because if we had the knowledge and it was spread out about our accomplishments as a black race in America with all of this stuff that we had to fight through, they would go like, woo! Why? You know, woo! Yeah.
Yeah.
They would be blown away.
And
but this is one way of controlling. Once again, that element of control that steps up, and they're doing everything they can to control the black vote.
Yeah.
You know?
And not just the black vote, the black voice.
Voice. Oh, yes.
See, because you listen, Tony, the integration proceeded because of us.
Yep.
It's proceeded because of us, because, you know, we was forgiven. We didn't go into the military with some attitude against white people. Some of us did because we was up against it like that.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of us went in there to serve and to learn.
Yep.
And we did such an awesome job. I look at the military today, and I'm just saluting when I'm on the place. All these little boys and little girls, man, that's what they look like, right?
Yes, right.
They look like me, too.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, they look like us.
They look like
when we were that age.
When we was that age.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't have them opportunities.
No. That was not an option. That was not an option.
But
that is now a normal part of life.
And you know what? I think my military service has something to do with it.
Yes.
See, that's why I'm so proud of my military service.
Yeah.
That's why I like when I wore the Vietnam hat today. I don't wear the Sons of Atlanta, but thank you for doing it, because we got to always push our local understanding of militarism. And when we wear the Sons of Atlanta paraphernalia, we're saying that we children, we are sons of this city. We are children from these communities.
Yeah.
And we wanted the best for these communities going into the military. We want the best for them now. And I believe if we all come together, they said, well, the time it is when all of God's children come together, we're going to make a difference.
Yeah.
We're going to make a difference that they can't stop, too, Tony.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to stop us, just like them people on Fulton County. They thought they could stop us. They thought they was going to turn us around. done walked into the hunting nest. Because see what? We got their facts. Their facts, that stuff they generated to speak for them. And it don't speak for what we're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
And I ain't afraid to say it. They're going to stop spending taxpayers' money and they going to get results for the people. We going into 2024. This will be the third year. And Fulton County stand ready to put another $1 million out, Tony. But we got to make sure that it get into the hands that's going to use it for the betterment of the people that is intended to help. And the only way we can do that is by keep on doing what we've been doing, brother. I'm just saying thank you, brother. And I got to thank you from Ali. He talking about thanking me. I want to thank y'all, because see, it has been you guys' steadfast determination that keep me motivated. It has been your steadfast assistance with and advocacy. I mean, think about the time we went at folks that we didn't know what they were going to say.
Exactly.
We just went at them asking for what we thought we wanted, and we know what we wanted, and they came through.
We didn't realize how many like minds we had. We have a tendency from time to time to put particularly government officials on pedestals. They're us.
They us.
They us. They just happen to have they earned the right to be elected to that position.
Yes.
But they're just like that. They're regular citizens.
And then, you know what? That's why I love Michael Jr. Obama.
Yes.
I love Marvin After Jr. When people start talking negative about him, I say, y'all don't know this man.
Yeah.
Because you ain't never sit down with him and talk with him and feel the spirit.
Yeah.
And one of the things I'm hoping is that we're gonna get some more of that coming out of these 2024 elections.
Yeah, right. Yes.
It's a lot of young veterans out there and a lot of young people that ain't veterans. They got a heart for the people.
Yeah.
And we got to push them up. Because see, what scam these folks, that make these folks want a dictatorship, is that equal opportunities have produced some great results.
Yes.
Have produced some great results, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of those results that I'm just determined not to fight any force that's trying to undermine them.
Yes.
And we got forces that are trying to undermine them that we don't even think that they're trying to undermine them because they're so smooth with it.
Oh. Yes. I'm having a flashback. But you're right. They talk a mean game. But you gotta look under that mean game they're talking about, because it's not always for the benefit of the people they're supposed to be serving.
And I'm gonna say this here. Shannon Jones. Greg Fan, I love you, brothers. I mean, I love what you're doing. I love your voice. I mean, I love your service. Thank you. I mean, I know I ain't been able to come to Concerned Black Clergy meetings, but you know what? I'm looking for 2024.
Yep.
I'm coming back up in there.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna have my surgery on the 12th, and I'm gonna be walking without the crutch. And me and Tony gonna get out there, and we're gonna show y'all how to get these people to vote. They all over the state of Georgia. We're gonna get them to vote Democrat.
Yes.
Up and down the ticket. Because why? These people that's calling themselves Republicans and doing what they're doing are not the Republicans that we need in office right now. They need to be clearly defeated with the vote.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you something else too. Those people that's misusing the government, veterans need to come together and start suing those folks for misappropriation of government funds.
Exactly.
For misappropriation of government resources, because they don't have the legitimate government reason for doing it. And we need to, because listen, if you'd have been late for any duty assignment that you had when you was in the military, it would hit your pocket.
That's it.
Hit your pocket right away. They call them Article 15. They might still call them that. Article 15.
Probably do.
They take some money from you.
But it hurt. You weren't getting that much. Now, admittedly, the economy was a lot less, but still, any amount that you're taking from me that I had planned to spend on a particular, that hurt.
Yeah, that hurt.
That hurt. And once you did, you realized you had no recourse because you failed to, as they said, follow the law. follow the rules, follow the directives of the military. And so you were told what to do, when to do, and how to do it. So it's one of those things where we need
having people come downstairs.
That kind of situation.
Yeah, they come down right now.
Yeah.
Now, the whole thing is, Tony, thank you, brother. Thank you for your advocacy. Thank you for your spirit, man. Because, see, our generation have gotten to this point that they don't want to be bothered. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be bothered either, but they bother me. I mean, anytime it took me 16 calendar years to get service connected for something that disturbed my mama when I first got home.
Yeah.
Anytime my mama looked at me and said, "Elson, something wrong with you. You need some help." Ain't nothing wrong with me because I made it back in one piece. I made it back in one piece.
You thought you made it back in one piece.
I thought I made it back in one piece, but she was able to see what I couldn't see.
Yeah, those pieces that were missing, that left with you but didn't come back with you.
Didn't come back.
Yeah.
And the ironic thing about it now, you still got these young folks coming back traumatized. Mm-hmm. And the difference is that they're not getting the attention that we got because of the nature of their service right now. They don't think that they are serving. They got an all-volunteer military. They think that they're living high on the hog. They don't think about the sacrifices they make every day that they live in the military. We need to make sure people understand and appreciate the U.S. military for what they do every day in our lives. And we cannot think that we're going to have this same military if the government changes. Right. They're going to stack the military to the point that they will have some people in there that will come against the people. Mm-hmm. We didn't have that in our era. One thing about, I remember when the 82nd Airborne was in D.C. during the 60s when they was protesting in D.C. That disturbed the military. So many of the military, they started going AWOL. Just going AWOL because the military was being used to keep peace. Now they talking about using the military to keep order of the government, meaning that if you come out to protest, then you're not going to be able to protest by yourself. So what we're doing, what we're going to keep doing in 2024 is standing up for democracy, calling veterans out, calling the community out to let them realize that what these opposition parties is talking about right now, believe them. If they get power, and they trying everything they can to get power, they're going to do what they say they're going to do.
Exactly.
They're going to be a bad day for us.
Yeah.
All right. Peace. Tony, close that.
So we wanted to hear next week, every Saturday, from 4 to 5, Veterans Talk, talking about things veterans and things for the benefit of veterans. See you all next week, Saturday, 4 o'clock, same place.
On Facebook and on Instagram.